Hi guys, it's Steffi from the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 13 of Vlogmas. Today I'm going to be sharing some of my most anticipated reads for 2020. I have a few sequels on here, which I can talk a little bit about the series in general. For the most part, if it's a brand new book, I don't know all that much about it, and that's kind of how I like to keep it, really. I don't like to know huge amounts of things about books going into them unless it's a series that I'm reading. So I thought I would just share with you some of the titles that I'm looking forward to in the months that they're supposed to be released, and we'll see if I read them next year. This will be a good video to reflect back on at the end of the year. So I have 17 books so far that I am looking forward to in 2020, and let's start with the January releases. So early in the month, we have A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmerer, which is the second book in the A Curse So Dark and Lonely series, which I really loved reading the first book at the start of the year. And I'm really looking forward to the second book and seeing where the story goes. Bridget Kemmerer is becoming an author that I really enjoy reading. I've read one of her urban fantasy books and I've also read one of her contemporary books, and I've enjoyed both of them immensely. I also have the next book in the Wayward Children series by Shauna Maguire, Come Tumbling Down, which is another Jack and Jill story. These books are portal story novellas and they're absolutely wonderful. I've already pre-ordered this. I'm so looking forward to reading it. It is one of my favorite, well, it is kind of urban fantasy because it does take place in the real world and in these fantasy worlds. There is also Love Her or Lose Her by Tessa Bailey, which is the second book in the Hot and Hammered series, which began with Fix Her Up. Now, this one I've heard mixed things about. I did really love Fix Her Up. I thought it was highly entertaining. But Love Her or Lose Her follows Rosie and Dominic, who are side characters in the first book, and they are married, and I think that their marriage is on the rocks, and this is about their sort of second chance romance. So I'm curious to see what I think of it when it is released. And the last book that I have down for January is Race to the Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse, which is her book for the Rick Riordan's Presents line. It is a middle grade fantasy book with Native American mythology woven into it, and that's about all I know about the story and all I want to know. I love Rebecca Roanhorse's writing, and she's now easily an auto-buy author for me. I've already pre-ordered this and I can't wait to read it. Then we come to February, and Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman is due to be released in Feb. This is a graphic novel series that follows two boys who have fallen in love with one another, and it is gorgeous and heartwarming and just absolutely adorable. There is a book called The Sound of Stars by Alicia Dow, which comes out. It is a YA sci-fi book, and that's all I know about it. I must have been recommended it by someone, but I put it on my Goodreads want to read list, and I can't remember the exact plot of the story, but I must really want to read it. And I still give YA sci-fi a shot all the time, even though it doesn't always hit the mark, but it's nice to have things to look forward to. King of Crows by Libba Bray also comes out in February, and I'm so looking forward to this after becoming obsessed with the series this year. I cannot wait. I just want to find out how this is all going to end. It is an urban fantasy historical fiction story set in an alternate sort of historical New York, and there are these group of people called diviners who have these abilities that they were given. There's all of these mystical and mysterious things going on in the background, and I just want to know how this story ends. It is going to be fabulous. And there's also Shortfall by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is the second book in the Foundry Side series, and I read Foundry Side and I wasn't entirely sure how I would feel about it because it's quite a detailed sci-fi fantasy world, and I don't always do well with those, but I did really enjoy Foundry Side, so I'm looking forward to seeing if I enjoy Shortfall just as much. In March, the 13th book in the Skullduggery Pleasant series by Derek Landy comes out. I think this has a title, Seasons of War, and I love this series so much. I got 2/3 of my class hooked on the series earlier in the year. Some of the kids are up to book 11 and 12 already, and they've absolutely loved it. So I'm very excited to read the next book when it is released. Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas also comes out. This is her vampire story. I think it's an adult book. I am looking forward to reading it because basically I'm trash for vampire stories. Ando has a new book coming out as well, Lightning Strike E-Boy, and I've been reading all of the Ando middle grade books because my class this year have absolutely loved them. Astrid Schultz's new book, The Banishing Deep, also comes out in March, and this is a YA sci-fi, and it has something to do with sort of this world that is entirely water-based. So the cities and everything are on water, and I can't remember why, and I don't remember the exact details of the story, but I have heard very briefly about it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Astrid does with her second book. In April, the second book in the Devouring Grey series comes out, and that is The Deck of Omens by Christine Lynn Herman. I really enjoyed The Devouring Grey. I'm looking forward to seeing what she does with the second book and where the characters go from here. This again is another urban fantasy style book that follows the children of the the children of the founders of a town and how they sort of keep this mystical, magical world at bay from the real world. And I want to go back into that world. I'll have to reread The Devouring Grey before I read it though, because it's been a while. In May, Aurora Burning by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff should be coming out. This is the second book in the Aurora Rising or the Aurora Cycle series, and I did really enjoy that. I really want to know what happens next. Plus it's Amy and Jay. What's not to like? In June, Rage and Ruin comes out. This is book 2 in the Harbinger series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which began with Storm and Fury. This is, again, an urban fantasy series, or actually this one's probably more paranormal romance, but it is YA, and it follows a main character who is half human, half angel, and the gargoyles who protect her. And it's an urban fantasy series. It's quite fun. Again, this is one I'll have to reread the first book before I read the second one because it's been a while. And the last book that I have down on my most anticipated list for 2020 so far is Blood and Honey, which is book 2 in the Serpent and Dove series by Shelby Mahurin. I enjoyed Serpent and Dove, and I know it is problematic, but I did enjoy the story and I'm looking forward to continuing it because I liked the characters, and I think I will definitely be picking up Blood and Honey. So those are some of my anticipated 2020 releases. In the comments below, let me know what are you looking forward to, because I can always add to my list. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.